Hello and welcome to Money Tips. This is Charles Kelly. Well, today I want to report about rising rents and rising immigration. And the fact is that net migration has risen to record levels at the same time that rents have also gone up at the highest rate since records began. And that I don't think is any coincidence. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying the World Cup, your Black Friday weekend, or it's Black Friday week now, Black Friday weekend. But do be careful about some of the bargains that you see, or what I would call so-called bargains. Firstly, that I believe a lot of companies just jack up the prices before Black Friday and then put them on sale, just like they do in the January sales in the shops. And secondly, I was speaking to a bank manager the other day, and he said next week lots of his customers will be coming in saying they've been ripped off, they've been scammed due to Black Friday scams. So be interested to see what happens. And if that's just one bank, imagine thousands and thousands of banks receiving complaints that they've been scammed. So do be careful, and always use your credit card when you're buying online, because if you're using your credit card, even if it's a scam, even if the company goes bust, as long as you've not been negligent yourself, then you can get protection and get your money back only using a credit card. It's not the same protection as a debit card, although there is some protection, but you've got Section 75 protection if you use your credit card to buy anything, whether it's online or in a shop. And of course, online you've got that 14-day return policy, which you don't get, ironically, in a shop. But let's get back to the main story, and I hope some of you are joining me live. Hi there to Cheska, great to see you. And I hope whether you're watching this live on Facebook Live or on LinkedIn, or you're watching it on YouTube, please like and share and subscribe to my channels. It always helps to get the algorithms, whatever they are, biorhythms, algorithms, I don't know what they are. It helps to get them up there somewhere in the stratosphere. So do help me there. And if you like my stuff, of course, you're welcome to comment. I always read the comments. I do respond to the comments. And now, as the UK is entering into what the Bank of England calls the worst recession on record, and that's since records began. That's like going back 100 years or so. We need to get our own finances in order. And now has never been a better time to get your own economy, your own finances in order. Whether you're watching there or there, I don't mind. Get your finances in order, and I put some free training up and a link to the free training in the description to help you get yourself organized and get your finances in order using my free training. So let's get back to the net migration figures. The ONS, the Office for National Statistics, reported that net migration is now a record 404,000. And it used to be around 250, didn't it? 250,000, maybe 300,000. Now it's 500,000. And this is at the same time that rents are increasing by record rates. Rents in the private sector, rents have gone up by 3.8% in the 12 months to October, and the biggest rise was in the East Midlands, which recorded a 4.8%, and the lowest percentage rise was 3% in London. Now, I know anecdotally that London rents have been going up, and of course 3% of, say, a £2,000 a month rent is much higher than, say, 4.8% of a £700 or £800 a month rent. But that's significant. And this is according again to the ONS. And look at this. The median rent now in the country for the whole of England is £795. And rents have been continuing to rise this year since the fall in 2021. We all know why. And that we saw a mass exodus of people leaving the cities and going to work from home. But now we see offices and companies saying, come on, we want you back in at work, including civil servants who still seem to like working at home. And now I think that's caused a rise in demand for rents at the same time that the sales market has been slowing. So rents have been going up as the sales market has been slowing, and that's unusual as well. And maybe that's also contributed to this is the net migration, the number of students coming into the country, and the number of landlords that have been pulling out of the market. 85,000 buy-to-let landlords have pulled out of the market, and you can check that story out on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link in there. But that's another interesting story, that so many landlords. Charles Kelly Money Tips podcast, you'll see that story. I've got a lot of interest in that story. Now, the massive rate of increase in net migration, that is the difference between the number of people leaving the country and the number of people coming in, as a number of factors. You've got a lot of Ukrainians coming in, a lot of Afghans, refugees, and thousands of people coming in from Hong Kong. These are people who are given British status from Hong Kong. Number of asylum seekers applications, which includes illegal migrants, is now 73,000 in the year to September, and around 15% of all of those who arrive in the country during the whole period. And large numbers of people are coming from outside of the European Union. Of course, we're in a post-Brexit era, with 170,000 people coming in from Ukraine alone, and 75,000 from Hong Kong under a scheme to resettle people and count as British citizens. So obviously the Hong Kong people come in, they've usually got money, they're buying their own properties, they've settled in some area, like Sutton was mentioned, for instance, in Surrey. They like that Wimbledon area, so that they are rowing their own boat. But obviously the other asylum seekers and other people coming in need housing, they need somewhere to live. Where are they living? What are they doing? They also need doctors, surgeries, schools, and all the rest of it. And that is contributing, obviously, to the strain on services, as the Home Secretary said, Suella Braverman. Now, the Conservatives wanted to bring down net migration to below the 100,000s, the tens of thousands, as David Cameron and Theresa May, the then Home Secretary, said, but they failed to do this on many, many occasions, and they're not really getting anywhere near it. Boris Johnson wanted, he dropped that target. He wanted for business to get the migrants they needed for their businesses. And business actually wants higher immigration. Obviously, the businesses don't care how the country copes with immigration, or how it deals with schools and doctors and hospitals. They just want the people to cope with the massive number of job vacancies in the UK. Yes, there are massive job vacancies in the UK, despite the fact that immigration, I said, despite the fact that unemployment is also high, there are still people that companies that need to employ people. You can see vacancies all over the country. Hi there to Alec, also joining us. Good to see you again, Alec. So included in the net migration figures are, of course, 277,000 international overseas students came to study under a student visa. Now, the students are good for the economy. They bring in billions to the economy. They spend money. A lot of wealthy students from China can be seen going out to Harrods in the break and coming back with shopping bags from Gucci and Harrods. So they really do spend money, and they also need somewhere to live. And the student rental market is, of course, quite a good market for landlords as well. So anyway, that's the kind of situation we're seeing right now in the UK. I don't think that's a typical year. But obviously we're getting thousands of people coming in every week on boats, and including many Albanians, for instance. 7,000 have come in already officially, 7,200. And of course the process of dealing with all these asylum applications is very, very slow. And companies like Serco, this might be of interest to landlords here, companies like Serco, SERCO, are earning millions actually housing asylum seekers, but they don't own all the properties. So if you're a landlord and you've got properties that you can let to companies like Serco, they will take on properties, although they are quite fussy about what you need to do with them. But one landlord I know said once you get through the hoops that they want you to jump, that can be a very good rental situation, because they will lease the property to you for 3 to 5 years and give it back in a similar condition. So Serco are all over the country. They also deal with prisons and that sort of thing, but they deal with these sorts of situations. Now, one thing I want to add here, if you live or work in the northwest London area, Watford, Stanmore, Harrow, Hertfordshire, Borehamwood, anywhere like that, I'm running a face-to-face networking meeting which I host at the Beach House in High Street, Watford, next Thursday, the 1st of December. In fact, we run it every first Thursday of the month. So if you're in that area and you're in business or you're employed and you like to get out and network and meet people face to face, please come along and join us. I'll put a link up in the description. There is a small fee for the coffee and the venue, but that's just to cover costs. We don't actually have any membership fees or ongoing commitments. So do join us for that. And as I said, Now is never been a better time to get your finances in order. So do look at my free training on the link below, and do join in with that. And it's absolutely free. Good stuff there. So enjoy the weekend.